Hi everyone, my name is Edison Bedoya. Today I am going to talk about food security in Colombia. Um, Food security means the people have enough, safe, and nutritious food to live a healthy life. In Colombia, food insecurity is still a challenge for many families, especially in rural areas and vulnerable communities. Some people do not have regular access to healthy food because of poverty, unemployment, inequality, climate problems, or armed conflict. According to the World Food Program, many Colombians still suffer from food insecurity, and access to nutritious food is not equal for everyone. In this presentation, it will explain the actions that were taken in the past, the actions that are implemented today, and some realistic solutions for the future. Um, Additionally, the information for this presentation was consulted from the World Food Program and the Colombian Institute of Family Welfare. Uh, First, in the past, several actions were taken to reduce hunger in Colombia. Food assistance programs were created to help vulnerable families. Government policies were implemented to improve nutrition, food access. School meal programs were promoted so children could receive food during the school days. For example, uh, the National Food and Nutrition Security Plan and food security policies such and Compass 113 were implemented to improve access to food and nutrition in Colombia. These policies were created to support vulnerable communities and reduce inequalities in food access. Different institutions were organized to support families and children, and nutritional programs were developed by the government. Although important actions were taken, for insecurity was not completely solved, especially in rural areas. Today, different actions are taken to reduce food insecurity in Colombia. Uh, Food distribute the vulnerable communities, school meals, and provide the many children. Um, Support is given to families through social programs and food assistance. For example, the World Food Program works with the Colombian government, and support is provided the vulnerable communities and school feeding programs. Food assistance is offered the families affected by poverty, migration, and food insecurity. Um, at the same time, food security policies are implemented to improve nutrition and reduce inequality. Excuse me, reduce inequalities. However, many problems still exist. Poverty, climate change, inflation, and inequality continue to affect access to healthy food. Now, let's talk about the future. In the future, strong actions should be implemented to improve food security in Colombia. Although many programs already exist, more effort are still needed to reduce hunger, improve nutrition, and warrant better, better access to food for vulnerable communities. First, food waste should be reduced in homes, restaurants, supermarkets, and food companies. In many situations, good food is thrown away even when many families do not have enough to have. Better system um, should be created so extra food can be donated instead of wasted. For example, supermarkets and restaurants could work together with food banks and local organizations to provide food to people in need. Second, early, early eating education should be promoted in school and communities. And many people do not always have information about nutrition um, and healthy food choice. Educational campaigns should be implemented to teach families how to prepare nutritious meals, reduce waste, and make better food decisions. Children should also be educated about healthy eating because good habits can improve health in the future. Third, um, local farmers should be supported because agriculture plays an important role information uh, the important role in food security. A better resource training and financial support should be provided the farmers so food production can be improved. Small farmers often face economic difficulties, climate problems, and transportation challenges. Uh, i- if farmers are supported, more food can be produced and distributed more efficiently. Technology should also be used to improve food distribution and reduce waste. For example, digital platforms called connect restaurants, supermarkets, or companies with communities that need food assistance. Uh, if these actions are implemented, food insecurity can be reduced in Colombia. More families could have access to nutritious food and health- healthy future could be created for many people. Uh, to conclude, food security in Colombia has improved, but important challenges still exist. In the past, many programs were created to feed hunger. Today, food assistance is provided to vulnerable communities. In the future, better solutions should be implemented to reduce food insecurity and food waste. This problem cannot be solved only by the government, families, schools, companies, and community must also help. Finally, I would like to mention that this presentation was based on information from the World Food Program and the Colombian Institute of Familiar Welfare. Thank you very much for your attention.